Yeah, National Cathedral, yeah, see National Cathedral after $58 million. Now, Nipa Bebre if as far as the National Cathedral. Now, Adiana, 3 days to the election. 3 days to the election. Yet to petrol. Yet to petrol. And yes, sir. And yes, sir. 3 days. Mimiti and America say, Omobua. Mr. How? Young, see about 3 days to the election. Yako to petrol. Hey, you person you winning and I say you person. Now driver for a buefu 3 days. And omoko 2 abano. 80 aba yako 2 yi. Bufu abana nipa 2. Enyasa. Bufu abana nipa 2. 80 na yaka say yebe share okwe committee no so omwaye omwejuma ewie said the general secretary e boss no omako constituency bia e wo Ghana na omwa produce omo report dia me de no say okwe committee report no I bet say there is no religious factor in the 2024 election. And then it is not a factor at all. And number 2, there is no tribal factor in the 2024.
Udidia and your fancho because you have to pay. No. I mean, you know the Ken's approach.
Yeah.
Or the Bema say flexible loans, Mamudia says, Oka, so be decentralizing ministries. For instance, a ministry like trade and industry. Ebetime Abba Asante region, of course, coupled with other 2-3 ministries. Now Abba, then it gets the ministries, let us say, very closer to the people. What I say now, one more, it say be a dready any adento to any other Ebetime Abuama any other. Why? Ken has been able to state this clearly. Obey decentralizing ministries, or say our real strong at the Kuyayo, ene or Mambia and Puntum, or Kase, or better the northern part of the country into the food hub of Africa. What's the idea? Or say tourism, there is a link, the link between tourism and socio-economic transformation. Our real answer in Kitahudi strong at that tourism and your mind be a Dutch and your mind be a FAPMU. Those are the things it's coming to exploit. Say you 2 bunch of raw, there be any other name for being to me Casa a start, other name for being into produce ethanol. Casapreco, one person alone to me import to about $2 billion of ethanol. Ako ya yanomi at the backroom ha. They invest in now I'm afraid what you lose. To invest in even ethanol production alone, need to me export to $10 billion, $20 billion of ethanol. Sigara na deba. Enya hotoni new money BTV the baby. Obiaka we. Obiso at the end of the year a slogan of rich ideas. 2 months to election, there has not been a single idea. Yet asantime uniewa and penifose kwaso of mount to my day. Yeah, and Nasebio, the record of the 2 personalities, the 2 leading candidates is also there. Let's go into their track record. And DNA in their private life, one more team achieve. Rich ideas. They've been in the helm of affairs for the past 16 years, and these are 8 years as an opposition leader, and also 8 years as a vice presidential candidate. Wow, Polugu down. What was the outcome of it? Now, party assembly. The benefit say basa kwese base panic na aire ahabai etase ne banyansa fom. But beyond the rich ideas so when your candidate or man for the credibility is the candidate or both marketable and visible. Eya no mo yom so asemesi na obintin dey marketable no. Obetima kwadwom ntosu gu ho on the first place pa ma me no ton tosu o first spot no. The ntosu ne emoboye once na boss obi anya dey enter. The person is visible, but onya acceptable. But in the case of Ken, over the track record and then the character trait, the Numa will be any also be human. Obitimakacho say, Ashanti still on be the biggest steel plant in Africa. Or no Bitimakacho say, at the Paco store, or I think there is also another one, the biggest one in West Africa, and also one of the coastal, Bekaidi na Mabama, and one man Tim Starch, and the media groupings are a war or mine two pneumonia. Well, beyond that, no crano in Accra alone, or run a real estate company of about 277 houses. What they find say, oh, one cleaner, one security. And the be our nipa or garden and yet 3 multiplied by 277. How many jobs nipa acquired at Crete? Recently, in the rubber factory alone, a cater for say 360 people. A more 300 free nipa no so rich ideas in the club. How do you compare these two? So be say why you see, or this is the track record. Also, the Omeka track record be a now say odi nyamema unim die bia o de drain now o drain no what is there to show? Sebio. You've been there for the past 8 years. Into your home, and the obey my within the past 8 years, and the rich ideas being what they buy. Now, no, I don't see ideas or mobile money, and the mobile money, no, or the recruit to 800,000 workers. Busa Hon says, my papa, never baby, and I know fast baby, and I didn't baby. Mobile money interoperability. That Ben, I walk send his car, vendor not only to me send a Vodafone to MTN now. Those are the interoperability works on individual basis for us in terms of its practicality. No? Interoperability be no vendor why use interoperability now. But one person lays a claim say online into will recruit to 800,000 people. And that the same person now no Napco Feli or nothing. Into what kind of rich ideas? I don't get it. In any event, so rich ideas are no matter how rich those ideas are, and so we need political power. The ideas become obsolete. And for so be any so. Men na bra kwadu sa bro tiase no. E bia ba kwa ne mpase no, se bia okọ yi ade free ne mpase no. Wo be hwe no. Na bo hu se e bia banche wa ha. E bi kura na proda mpa na se bia akoto no hu. Wo be yisi kan na hu free tuntuntuntuntuntuntu. E bi kura ye onim dia ye because ye anya access entima anya de kura anya de MP. So a political power no matter how rich ideas will be, so when you will be obetimaji to me our ideas and them. We are presenting a candidate and your ideas and kwan or sell it. We are tired of the ideas. One and you're tired of the ideas. Krumha, Galamsey, you can say kwan best never for Galamsey. Take your phone, go to Google, go to AI, the business kwan best never for fighting Galamsey. He will give you 1,001 ideas. Our problems has been systemic. A problem is a day. Unemployment. What is the data saying? The data national service beer. It takes a minimum of 10 years for half of that batch to get permanent employment. Our problems are always there. Problems, issues with your transportation, your bad. A healthcare, a bad. Enforcement issue, a bad. Until the ideas, the solutions near the solve, they are always there. In here nipa bia as one of the ono person chese nyamia man adwen fufuro bia ono no de be the best solve those problems no. What we need is not ideas. What we need is pragmatic solutions and implementation. And that implementation has to do with the will and the discipline to do it. Omaya team lanku say edru a year of any say edru traffic light asia e so red ko ye de otwam police ni gina ko ye de ochia no. Or my team, nipa take no be emura to forma. Nobody talks about it. Speed limit 80. One eddy soda. Do you need ideas to solve them? You don't need ideas. You need pragmatism. The ideas are already there. The laws are there. Normal what is left is enforcement. Pragmatism. That bold and courageous leadership. Leader, or no, na kwara ya di otimi hwe nsade a wo ye enye. Anase we ye dey. Obetima hwe e de pepepe ya to ba bia ye dey. Eda. Enye se bia obiti se bia, efa se bia contest de bia bronya no mu di rough. Na hontimi nka. How do you then have that balls to say, "We be make it tough decisions?" So we don't need rich ideas.
Bronya na babo ntaka se ba me has no authority whatsoever over him because ordinary and all ye na there. So why will you include an answer for a bronya name?
If free be command responsibility. What I say? Nana sante he enam hui. So nana him for ni bi ono mo nam e ko dwabase e bibia. Na se bi de bi also Mike sin so. No odi ohini wi atem, no odi president atem, no odi asofo atem, no odi Ghana mpanimfo atema. Sana sante hene endo so be pamo sa nipa ko na fini nchen. Se fini community we no nya de enantibio. That is the trademark of every great leader. A trademark of every great leader, you take up responsibility. Yeah, in Chama, our here no more make say, oh, Santa Hindi, I mean, the quay yas a quatia kebadi, a mayor on fast, or no, as a minute. What were you expected, Sabronia Babakaze? Hey, Bawumia abused the one so near the way another. Was that what we were expecting? No, clearly no. But the beauty of now, let me compare the two leaders. I've been a friend at Lestete. Well, before I Lestete, but I could be very public. My be a friend who could join I answer fine. Okay, no one can hear program be or mine. Aye. Now, I saw so for fake pastors expose ya no more. And now, man, no could did Dr. Bawumia. The following day, Ken Saken say, on the Dr. Bawumia relationship, you're completely different. And on the relationship as also an employer-employee relationship, they're different. Or staying within the cycles. That is leadership. You are able to take tough decisions even against your own people. Now, and you stand the ultimate beneficiary of the oil. Now, I can say, what the abronya, is that leadership? Don't do that. I say we are able to, and your friends say, be a seminary, no kind of kissing any actually, because I did away any day. Achia. No trainer sa ha say find the end to what the two be dey e be frato na be jeni pa ko na ni pa ko ka cho say enne ba akofo de di anane atem ba akofo de di kofo atem ba akofo de di Kennedy Agyapong atem ba akofo de di Duncan Williams atem or started with Kennedy Agyapong who susuam pa say so nti or started Kennedy Agyapong so na pani bi ka che so pani de wuyi me no na antibiewa o ye so say kebedu Duncan Williams so eso akwa and na no ono mo santre ma me eto for mani e kwanachi okocha santre obi a ohwe TV ni bia hu se papa ne bon ani ye dai e kire no se oye ohen oye pani won kasa badwam but obe kire se menua bra from kakra ade kire no be so camera e kudi di so for pani ba kwa ye dai atem and you are telling me say you did that say pani bia ne ho beti mai atiana so pani de wo ye
that's executive that crowd friend no crown he still doesn't or still okoso and oye de oye the executive of the party na crown no odoma ye
in that case you distance yourself ade kire ho the following week no ne call sampa. Oh yes, so could the delegates demonstrated how discerning they were. One more born in tutu. Udi Kennedy Agyapong atema one born in tutu no. One first person kwachiano. I don't know we are kwachiano. And how do you convince? You see, me jurisprudence was school. Gimpa hana me de. Na jurisprudence human philosophy. Obecho say nipa entity any nipa abodi na nyame boy. We are rational people. We are able to reason. Inti me man say. The hair question no enipa ntimi place reason on it who say ade ekui e benefit we na nipa semesi na oka abrante we dey ebejai we can pretend we are able to reason.
I wish you had time kebe koso pa but
Mr. Amu so tie
time ni na
na sa chairman I will just say man
me that's it I say as time progresses before I'm better and definitely we pass it
yes
we have more to talk about that's it
pa Mr. Amu so as say so ebre no omo tie say ma pone kakra ye e ma me
so me pay for the center some commoners na me pom chwansa that's it right my mama be for akwaba na afi yenshase omunyina ba bedru enti mama ma makwaba Mr. Joseph Amwa senior member Edema United Party Plus UP Plus ono ewa ha Dr. Kesken osepuku eso ewa ha oba communication any MPP Asante Mantem ha omunsine from kra doc good evening
good evening
na boko de
Nyamiadom.
Ede nyamiase.
Onso hoye.
Me hoye pa. Zamwa. Yeah. Me ye no na chese wani abere wachiro nti mama akwaba. Na boko de.
Nyamiadom boko.
Ede nyamiase pa. Na
ke obi ana mesra say ana wache me be 2 minutes bi.
Sao.
Na me dey clarify one or two things we are saying about discussions. Babi tima cha champion.
Mama aye ora asha. Enso akwaba. Na ono so oba NDC Asante Mantem ha wo mu nsini from kura mpacho ndi eji so ndati wono
ana so uzo presidential
ko konsan yo de papa
bisa mwasha
ko konsan yo de
papa na boko de
nyameti ase mo de die mo afusane
ede nyame ase pa na mia menua Dr. Barnabas
amafo ko konsan ko
KOD
doc
KOD
na boko de
nyame adaroma
ho anu mani aji
KOD se menua
anyway mama sha sem free Dr. Kesken ho na mintie no so to me man 2 minutes no na
regarding a year and similar na menua kwasi ka no ebi on ma a campaign I'll grant it maybe on ma as a party person me gidi say the kasana nkoyi The first one, no can say, but say Ora Bawumia say or the ideas now say interoperability are creating Numa. Na the babe nebi. So baby say Numa Ora Kennedy is what creating the constituency. The babe nebi on constituency.
Okay.
It wasn't respectful.
Yeah.
What you say?
Yeah.
Ebi mo so any a day. One say Kennedy Agyapong run home kuntokwada. Rollins one was run home kuntokwada. What the politics I say? Now what the times and seasons now say? Anytime I base a charged via no, they able to protect the ballot.
Yeah.
Me say Obama be president no, yes be any thing. Orakofo one say kofo jabonti yida.
Say one who so share for ni pada.
Exactly. And now o share buy koto ya elusu ye na. Obi a ogina galamsey so e to MPP no. And okoto aba meje say na bato no be sesa. Obi a ogina boku conflict so e de to abeti MPP na okoto aba e be sesa. What you say? Ebio so ideas. I believe say ideas and part if your ideas are as an implementation. Ora Nkrumah you born about so pa Kwame Nkrumah then no the bad ideas na the bad. And now we be fan ho say we na wuska. Yeah, taxes I would be into new ideas are being implemented. What you be manage taxes now? But no man akoso. They be so I see here national development plan. National development plan then.
Ideas.
Yeah, ideas. So a pragmatic solution, I say, oh, in here ideas, in here pragmatic solutions. I'm like, me as a policy person, it's just semantics. Just until you can I say. It's the same thing now Nawoka in a different way.
Anyway.
So the Bianam of Banukuta, a great transformational plan.
Ideas.
And ideas. So what are we talking about?
Anyway.
It will be our politics, no, and part Uraken. And so Sefata as a party person. Ora Bawumia Sefata. Brane Champion Sefata. Kwabna Agyapong Sefata. Aduchum as Sefata. Oja say, but yen share kasa no ebiye. Yen kasa ni biye. Because in some Kenya, if you have to flip all these things backwards. Ora Kennedy, no a board chairman wo Ghana Gas. Ideas, pragmatic solutions, burning never burn or the bar transforming Ghana Gas. So we should be careful. We should be careful.
You have the party at heart. Thank you very much.
We should be careful.
Anyway, me nzumi enough ye nin komo no eyi na yenka ensama ene wo se ye di ho komo. Budget no yenye nwie ye da so wrem na ye di enkomo no dodo na e de afa ho. Ene my concentration ebe wo tax reforms ene revenue mobilization eho ena mede my drink na say yede yenkasa yendodo na ebesie na mame moboso kakra na yenhwe ensem a enei the finance minister ebaye wode ebetudwa efa eye tax reforms no ho na meboboso asei enetie a comprehensive package of value added tax reforms. Now, the attorney said there is a repeal of the COVID-19 health recovery levy and the coupling of Get Fund and NHIL levy. Now, Oko Ehona say VAT na nkasano said the workano omu repeal we anache say you better so by 1.9%. First now 21.9%. And they teso amana about 20% and increase in VAT registration threshold from 200,000 to 750,000 and also a idea and no EBPM the repeal of the VAT on mineral exploration and reconnaissance and also extension of zero rated VAT on local manufactured textiles until December 2028 nanka or more amnesty to 2025 in December NNA sign Eddie Ebiada Council and Concodi 2028 reform on Income Tax Act to address inconsistencies, simplify the law and align with global standards. And also, income tax no omo trim na afei akwa kokata amanfo menim say informal sector no enyina eba be rem eno eho ensem ewo hanum say implementation of independent tax appeals board eno eye ensema omo ede etudwa eka ho afei reforms of custom act to align with international standards, simplify border procedures, reduce clearance time and compliance costs, and strengthen Ghana's competitiveness eno border no ho ensensem say amanfo to me faculty kwan so o port no kra no chense bi o ha nema no mbekra no enye ho duties and the taxes and the omutua and they omo the machines and nkro ne ba ebeboa na etimi addresses sa enema no afei reform of excise duty act to harmonize trade broadened the tax base and promote public health, environmental sustainability and fiscal responsibility, including expanding coverage to carbon intensive goods, plastics and sugary beverages. We so taxes ni ebi ebeka one more year anonie ya and si training nema wo mu no afei plastic products and nkro no ehon so ombehwe ho esem na omo edi edwuma no. Na the question that is on board this evening and it said enei so maybe one thing that helps the country to progress our tax system. Now COVID-19 tax is being taken away averagely on and I say annually. The COVID-19 tax give us around 3.7 billion Ghana cedis and no echo. Now, share the percentage ye free so about 1.9% no to the ordinary Ghanaian. Will we feel the impact? Say yes, Sanyamano, Eddie a free one now. Once again, measure say free a year or Russia because not buying a war and I send a party in the war by mo. Inti my measure say and from free no not mintino.
Kodi me da se na memfa enja ma busuafo ni anuma ehia wa ha anwumre ne omo hwe ni omo tie nyina so ehia omo ye da nyame asese wadom ye nkwane ahode na moja edi omo afurusane se sene odi kan no Ghana photo samfo me ankasa menua ato force in doctor or the Ghana akonhoma boss ika ye friend no budget no aba betudwa mrebe se enan ekonum ni na yesi afine wo so na ya yedie enti en ho nkomo na America kra yedie am say da me ba program so the point no yedi bi ho nkomo and then so udi bi agu nsani ani say ye no so ni en so no ni en hwe ba bi a yede befa enti ye gisem say yetoa enkomodie ni so KOD oman economy a ye ka no etise nipadua edurumi bia ye ko hospital a ye say ye ko hwe ye blood pressure e was through ana e wo form sugar level e was through ana e wo form ene o mekeka ho bebre se ne nipadua ne te sa na economy no etie enti akonhoma sika ye afimpim yenu ne aduonu nsia 2026 dia aban foto samfo dia aba no eno na se Ghana economy ne ye nipadua yede be ho bra ama ya hwese bibia betumi aye kama ede amayen enti ade ba ko nso editu na ma wo ma bia ho eye eto ayeje ani dwumadi a yede eto ni die budget ne eye tiawa eye sika ayeje ene kwan be fa so ebe su sika na ayaje ni nchire mu tiawa eno no eye income ne expenditure na except say yede bibi na etu sa na amount na policy ne nso eto aso enti NDC aban His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ye nimpefe baby epese de Ghana eko because KOD ye wo susudua mako be se aduonu nsia 26 ya ye de hwe economy bia ahoden sene amese yenka ye nipa ye ni BP ene ne ho keka ho no ba ko ehia wo mpa ye de hwe no primary balance ye ka primary balance no a ye hwe oman bia sika awunya ene dodo awudie na yi wa bobisi a ensihu a so otua de friend interest payment in Ephraim de beka no positive I say surplus negative na negative bra Dramani Mahama ne ndisi aban eba titire free December 2024 aban no eba ndisi aban no na eba beba no na primary surplus a MPP aban no edijaye no na negative 3.5%. na chere MPP aban na Bawumia ne Akufo-Addo eda no sika ebeka aban ni nsa no odima ne broso ama ekosene negative 3.5%.
Yeah, surplus or mujaye
no negative negative surplus negative
3.5%
yes. Ye sika ne edi ama ne broso ye nya no what the wa dwumadi adidi na akobro nsika enya ne so ko yi interest payment free mu se na medi kan chirechire mu no a nti ye 2025 budget no ye de ani kan che se ye behwe se ye primary balance no ye betimi enya 1.5% positive this time enye negative positive
benya mfaso
ye benya mfaso nti by November ye be budget free no na ye primary balance no ye nya 1.6% na just ba kun ba be chire na echire pepe se omensi ka de ba ye ho no ne se ne ayedi ni no ye de ani aka nche se ye ni ma ne mmoro so ne mo me be krakra ma aboa Ghana man
ubusa ayana MPP for no busa question say if that was the case mo buy no so the scam munya e de boa ban ho brands na mo read mo budget no then na hifa e na mo kofa asasika no e free
say ye ba ye nya totua aban no sha ase Ghana fo ye nya totua
okay tia no nkakra na mo boaboa no
na wonim say the friend open market operations se bia aban to treasury bills no kaka na so aban ye nya ye
okay
because oni me be ya adwen say NDC aban we ba ye no bosume du baako ni bosume du mu aye we aban no mo be sia mfiri amano ne da sika ede bo man hu bra nyina aye sika NDC aban ne joma ma ofafiri Ghana ha ya
ti the omo kase mo ja about 3 million wo aye some accounts mo sinking fund and some accounts nyina no ba mo hu bibia sa
o ma nya sika bia o sinking fund
all right
o ma nya sika bia o ba bia
okay
enchirichiri mu bi be ho achire
for the sake of my listeners into am person yet tisane man
is the reason I like these discussions enchirichiri mu bi ho ha me de beba
all right
meaning say Drew Keskins so o be pre ne ho aka
mpacho mu ja o say onye nduru no
oh no me say me dey only team na am the sanjay team na ba so let me move on let me move on let me move on endi no me come on ne
domestically so one can once
me say amanone no na me kan Caskins na me kan say aban no flow to me kan say aban no de or flow to treasury bills ya besia aban ebo won go for say me kan obi anani so obi market operations ya besia
oh da bunya teme kan me sim beso e clear we beso
e clear but I mentioned obi market operations me kan obi market operations and aman kan besia ni ntra
o
se I'm speaking economics
e ba mo no ne de ne o kan twi ma ko ye nkomo beso aman e ba
o da bi da
o kan bro
na say
concert
ba boni sem say da bi no na
yantraso
me na manya maduane na midu na ba kira to ma bitwa dabi o kan say enye so keodi ye to na mo say o man sika sembe gina yie na bibia aye kama mi gina eto ti say de na o kan no taxes ne so won say ya kan say ne o kan ye no COVID-19 recovery levy na ababe kan na ababe she VAT nim ye campaign 2024 ne ka say ba ye be yi sa to no afri ho okay ya ye kan 2025 budget na ye nyi sa to no afri ho no MPP for boy ye gisa de ne ba ye nyi ne ye ka chom se e wo se ye tu anamo ye nhihye bi a e be boa ya me hu anamo ayi ntu ansa ne ye yi eje nya beduru ene sa to no afri ho free a free ho no ne se ene se obi ko toka free abrochiri ba no hwe bill no a ye de man no in terms of tax no a free January aircon say you pass appropriation bill na ye amend VAT act no a unhu COVID-19 recovery levy wo so bio wo hwe ni nyina mu omo eye business no mo be say 3.7 billion Ghana cedis aguombotom o ye introduction o kan eno kan ho obi be ka say a loss of revenue to the state omo ka say na eba atuo ma ye say omo ye mercantilist omo hu ni say eto no just chinchina be di aban sem ansa na aboa aban but aban so no se kodi Ghana ni botomu a eno se ade a ebeboa enti ene ya one reform a ye de aba COVID-19 health recovery levy no ke we de ade a se na ye kan ye no ye yi eno ade afri ho ena obeka ya MPP aban ni ba ye no national health insurance levy ena there's another levy you can get fund first pa no na enka nimienu nyina bum a ne ka VAT no omo ba no omo de bibi ba ya omo frɛ no decoupling omo beti nimienu ntem no de how ba businesses for ntem how e de ba ya ne say na emma businesses entumi nya de ye friend no input levy no and I say input tax no back on says obi ye business na okra nioma ebi a raw materials a odi ye na adwuma no eno no otua tax e wo so mba cho so ati ase ena wo wie nso na opeso oton nioma no nso a eno nso osan enkofo oton nioma no nso no osan tua tax e ma om se wanyi ni input levy na mfiri mu a na wa suffer from the friend no double taxation enti the coupling no a MPP for the buy ya almost separately get fund from national health insurance levy no yes eno no ye yefri ho mba cho so ati ase yes aka ni nyina bom se ne be ya businesses omo benya the friend no input tax no ye betumi asan tua omo no asan e de ahye omo businesses eno nso ye sika e ba na ba be boa omo a omo di dwa se ne be ya omo so ebenya kakra de aka sika omo ye friend se edi di dwa no main frame no e ho ma VAT no eno nso o kan ye hwe aso from 21.9% about 20%. Ebinum aka say enka ye 10% ya enka ye. But you see eto na ye de ba na ye nyoma mienu. Ye hwe sika ebenya de abo oman hu bra ene de ye be yusu. Ntu kaya as part of the commentary aminu atofo in all man. Wa kire ma kire Ghana for say 20% VAT rate no. Obehwe senior etu na monko even up to mid-year. Se ne performance no nya de a ehwe ani a obehwe so aba from senior be ya ebema nipa bebre ayde atimi atua bi because ebinimu asaje se enga o say 10% but eko 10% a anhwe anasika na aban ehia no na wanya because KOD o kan budget no a aban di nani aka nche se sika opese wodi bo omanhu bra nyina afia ewe yanim 2026 no eye 302 billion Ghana cedis the friend expenditure no ena the ordinary country say obenya no so be ba ho revenue no eno say 268 million Ghana cedis and one say between 302 billion Ghana cedis and 268 billion Ghana cedis there's a shortfall eno no bi e be ye besia aban be bo afri omanyamu because minister of finance akase ye ntubiri kan kwa manone enkobo besia bio sisia because of that ordinary be hwese ne VAT no anamo a ebetu ene de be ya nsana bibibu wo ho a ordinary be kanche a ye friend say ordinary atimi akanche na watimi atu anamo for industry there's a very important good news sir omo ye ntoma companies ye ntoma ene nkeka ho no ebeboa wo mo
zero tax.
Yes. Brand name people for ho. Saade na na o kan e rollover. Because a rollover e nhihye ya MPP for na de ba say zero rating in respect of VAT. E ho ma omo ye ntoma o Ghana no. Enke be si 2025 you. 2025 na enke be si. But yen si okay da bi yen ne sa. Ya pagam di akọ 2028. Enti companies ye ntoma e o Ghana ha no. The friend is zero rating or homa omo. KOD uni mfaso dia ewo we so. Mfaso dia ewo so ni etiawa. Sika nko mo be tua VAT no, on betimi dia wura omo business no. Enti indirectly no tax rebate and aban de amom. Enke be so 2025. Aban we si no. Ade a enko 2028. Sene be ya emo omo businesses na omo nso enya sika emfa nhye omo adwumam. Eno so be boa ma enyuma ahodo be say 2000 me ka sa companies na ye ntoma ene omo a efa o madwuma no yetimi abo o madwuma nyina ye dey ehun ba because the assumption is that a tax no was ra anhwe ana yentimi amfa nipa dodo wo sa adwuma nim ana omo wom dada mpo no ebi ane amom ma ye dey ekofie enti de empese meka ne se aban no etu anamon a tax no de to obebre yen na asan de sika gu industries ni adwumayefo botom so otu sa anamon na our revenue measures or they support taxes na opese oje because you see say opese oje tax no na oni anamontu a ode je a nya de obetumi age tax no enti kan budget bia so opese oye tax reform a oche tax reform no the revenue measures are there atato se na be ya ni nyina be bo ano na bibia aye kama o man panyi John Dramani mama ban say wo miemu ahwese obi a wo so tua to obi a no betua de broni friend compliance enti na minister of finance e ka kire say bibi ti say VAT ni rate no na ni di akire because e drum bi a rate no so determine compliance edum bi a rate bi wo ha e wo soro pia enkofo nya dai entua na e wo fon pi nso a sika wo say e ba no so no enti nya dai emfa ma enti won say drum bi a na akoye besepa ni koni ha hai ye kotase a sebe na yetase no nyansem e ya de aban behwe aban be use technology no de ahwese titru cross border trade wo mu a etu anamo de nyoma Cote d'Ivoire Burkina ne ho keka ho wo mu to oje no ye betimi de nhihye fufura ye technology aba betimi aboa ma saa to no ya je ma sika bi a wo sa aban age no wotimi age na waji ni ye waka tax education any nyoma bebiri a eka ho but ke odi ye hwe ade we ye e very very important one who say meni o kasa sesi e wo ho sometime around June and Fitch almost okay bra na MPP aba ho ne ye to ye punumu wo aman dwa so say yentimi ma babosia bio yentimi ma bobosia bio ne na kire say ya bobosia ma besia amene ya ma yesikasam ne nankokom ayemre na momendi si aban ni o mampanyi jondamani mama ba ye no yesikasam nankokom ayadini bio wa so mo de o mani kanchia yen sikasi di no keka ho na ho de ne ekosoro enti Fitch for instance omo ayen free the friend risk default that is yesika no yesika bi a enya de agina ne na so yesika basa pa afri ho de aba de friend B- with the stable outlook say okay yesika sem na ko o say
yenimu ye
yenimu ye was stable outlook
okay
but abanya ka say enya nu nti na okọ ewiase amansan adwa so akwakwagye besia bebre you see edua agwagwa na nsidi ye owu ye ntekuma won tena se anyim frama besia bo na ma MPP fo anim gu ase
na o ye na wa wrap up man
hey
bra
besia bo na ma MPP fo anim gu ase enti dia aban we ye ne se ye sika ye de no ye nye sika ne basa basa ye ntem sika nkosi national cathedral ye mfa around $97 million nkotu amna menso to ayema na bibi ti say national service scandal scam more than 2 billion Ghana cedi go fo nwie ani kakra ye benya ne ye hwe se ye di wura ba bi a o se ye dey ye di wura na ye di ayadwuma beboa Ghana fo nyina se ne be ya ye economy ne be gina ho ye na ne nankokoma ye dey ayedi and clearly where your tax reforms are e ma yen sika e na e revenue measures are ye dey tato all right na ya hwe se ya ye disciplined ya hye ye ho so se ba bia o se edi sika ne fa no e ho na o mampanyi jondramani mama ne andi si aban di sika ne fa se na be ya di ye yoni mpuntu ni nkan ko bebre Ghana fo na Ghana fo enya didie wa amanyosemfo mu se ampa ye to abama mo a sika ya de mamu no mutimi de eye de enti ubusa me a
sana beka no
ye wo nyina ni na me wogide ma pase propaganda ne ba me se nya kwan asa
ade nya mai oso wa shase ka
me se wogide se propaganda ne ba me se nya kwan asa ba
amra aye Mr. Amu ho ansan ma ba Dr. Keski ho na meti zama
me da spa gise o man ne ye chichire to man chichire so de kwan bias no niema ebitin abo o man na sie nyina ehwe na na ye ka budget mo asemi niema kakra bo ho a be pese me de be kan so ma mkwan a budget na ho na nyina yi sika asem no but before you be call no sa number is 0548029035 here United Party number over so you can reach us on that number.
If you want to join,
054 802
054-802
9035
to
be a person over per person only an antibia
Shibomuno.
Our fresh number no then we didn't come but very important part because maybe a manager MPP near this is ya bro we so muko na a buyer or what is your papa so after budget you cry nema bebre a ready or budget they said no they took inspiration from the great transformational plan so what kind of great transformational plan ube who say
chief come president
say or the year juma to me is good because o man di year nyina be di eti me de me manage ho say ene be ho ahunu mu a ni nyina esi pi esi ta se omutimi implementing ye said the great transformational plan kind no a bit me do man akonani nti enye mwanwa se at this time no ubia ana manfo bo mabaso kakra which to me is not bad na ba ko ameka ho ase me yi mako recently there's an incident be see Naimos accident be see no say Naimos no ma almost budget ye 150 million cedis ho na mesre president no ha say 150 million cedis no dey Naimos no say wamfa proper mechanisms engu ho a elibetime tu galamsey na sia says can enye so ma fa so mo man baby a cause say dua yesi dua nya na say ebewo weni a yetu ase intwa so Alanjemati policy on this environmental ecosystem say you find the BRS ban, restore and support say ya ban galamsey no na say ya nhwene and restore niema access and san ya babak ababe ni na say de ye konu ya say we fa hanu ya fa we fa hanu ya fa no enkusi hwe ye can say ban total ban on
mining total ban including large scale and small scale bebia
say ye be ya de total ban on those you know. And you know what it's a basa akura o GSS kura betima control galamsey because ya banner wo ko kan ya banner won ko na so no obi ye na say obi de onya e be dey na odo aka say on de oye bi enye say de ko sa na ye obi o ha ye say on de onye na so baby on de otimi ya a de otimi nye nti say wo dis ka we nyina kwa em ya mo ko hwiro mo kan ranu fo mo currency but em ya say ya hwe ya e be boka egu kwa ni ya nya hwe mfiri so with this is our approach here. I take it. I don't think it makes I don't see the logic in it unless we all think say this is the time we need to have a total ban. We ban and we restore the name access and then we support. It is as can do come out with I share with unfortunately. The no yet back on meka. Afei budget no musuno over the big push we buy on the other things, infrastructure developments be and so and then there's this road here express road, a very laudable idea. But why would the president put yesi kenyina kakra ejije akowura sa project sa road we see
so say obey invite private partner about be room
say what kind of sa maintain so what kind of sa there
sir.
So I can't say there because
also be partner with private
policy. Page 14 on GTP. You see, you have design and apply innovative project financing model such as BOT and PPP to finance public infrastructure projects and thereby reduce government capital expenditure. So there's kanwa ya gieno. Ya timi di bia ye nkurasi akwa no aye no obi anya interest mu no. Ye se nkurasi akwa no ya na be makwa we kura ye popular. Ye na be ma ye no so be boa ma inflation kura ba because enu no bo be fo say ka timi ko ba bia ye dua bode ne banche ho no easily a driver ni no on timi toto bo no se de ope obi aso betimi akwa kofa bia ba na ye se ye twa bode na gu kwa ho ka ekwa re nyenti ka timi kofa kura na egu na apro ana okoduru ho no mo a ebo obebo wo no untimi ebeduru hanan boy den food inflation is na it drive a lot of the inflationary ayi ni nyina nti ya no de message say on man and nko say on fire sika na mom on pe bosia say other local or international na yama omumfa meye na tol na sisuo no omfa nyi omusika either on BOT or PPP na emma ya honto because o ma 3 years old be we kwa me bomba is bit me because ebe bo apa ebe reduce you know by 50 kilometers
Ghana ha
oh say
there be eno kwa de menyini
ya start say ye betimi encourage enkrofo amoma ya de a ye mu obu
Mr. Ahmad, the issue is that who ya there no set realistic targets because omo kwa se baby akwa ne be fa kra na omo ne negotiation ko nya nkoso
no baby akwa ne be fa no a lot of bebre no ye forest
yo
adan ni ho se de
Mr. Ahmad ojidi
adan ni ho se de I say
okay
adano wo no so mutimi ya ebeboa me dem gidi se hwe nkro bebre aye bi ama mo kro
3 years
because say it me 2.5 hours so we go 80 kilometers per hour na 100 kilometers per hour but me 2 hours after Accra bedura and it will be helpful ebe mark ebe yes one ebe twin cities we made enti ese it me boa ko abroche ba bia asa ne man wo we tool the old person won person betua tool na be fa so a no afa we
dada no so na ko baby
obi anu ni asem tie no message say ho no wo momani ko na mmom o momfa o ma private sector mrem na magi tool na yesika kakra won yemfa nye man because great transformational plan no ideas no de buy no se obehwe no de no ayedwuma ebe me atima ye nema easily obetime a quantum leap in a lot of things here wabobos ni nyina within the shortest possible time the no ya de America then yemra afa ne ba ne awo kan ye so about tax reliefs and tax reforms no hwe so VAT say any adwuma tua VAT ni egi VAT ni yi no so hwe VAT no na e free bi tax on tax cascading tax on tax because na me hwe back me was see ya okoto ade bi 100 cedis otua NHIL 2.5 get fund 2.5 covid 1% na ansa na ada bekan you know ansa na be give VAT 15 yen na ma o ya na compounding no na akwa do 21.9% no it is ye free ho a obi a ho be hare no ye free ho ebe ma calculation go easy because se see anu said na eniam esi cost ne said the VAT se ma esi tete nkrofo no menyini say the best way in there na ye no na yeah, well, COVID is COVID. I will hear free one. To me, it's also okay because at the end of the COVID was more mocha. The tia guzutia nasabri year free one. To me, it's very good. It you know ya deba kwa bijisi say why ya ebeboa. Afi adeba kun bi mu a why any a compliance na a bese to me it's very important. So say o kroma say no nipa bebre fa kwan bia so na edimi vedi tax.
The question is how because and they say kind informal sector now how will you get them?
Informal sector and digitization ebetimi the digitization obi a organa card so organa card na say organa card the link odwuma awo ya bebi awo ya ebi hu that's it organa card and AI abe say linking to AI na yi AI board ni na say me call UK na bank bi na omuye mi ni omu ye di nkomo no ache asem ba ko pa me kan ya meeting ye no o ma ro bu bibia no o ma cancel
Lechatro. I see.
No na ye it one nya
oni mu no bia
no kan so bra mo ni we dey bo ano what does it this is the thing this is the time we need to go there. What does it? Because you are very, very difficult. And I say, "Enya isusu esi etimi sisa isu ekakra." And now leadership by example. Singapore, obi busa president no say, "Ekwan be no fa so a omutimi ko omonim sa." 1950 to 1960 na Ghana you discussing Singapore. Say omo per capita you know 82,000. Ghana dey 2.5 2,500 2,400 unim obese niam miensa pe na omu yusu ye niam miensa pe na mo gina so abedi di adri 1 zero tolerance for corruption number 2 selflessness selflessness collective interest instead of personal interest. And then number 3 meritocracy
they sefata no.
They sefata. Because Singapore is a conference. Now, in my country, was it what to you work there better? Does you do for man? What do I say?
5 years.
5 years. I thought
yeah.
And now, any pakra one way. Any power one way.
And we had a kohankwa. I see.
I just said, Emra ye juma. Satam no kura na fe because emra bi pia juma decent o pia din huni. What I say? Ya decide we say nko aba ha. Ka nyama ekosu Ghana, we could have saved, we bet me have saved several billions of dollars here. And you say, okay, it's careful, baby. On say, and then I'm there, you be finance minister can say, Ghana, $31 billion, and every Oma with him. Now, they are going to deal with banks now, or allow those things to go. Obi ye transactional. Oji IDF say me export me import nyema ebia
scan be ko nyema
100,000 import declaration fund. Na e dey transfer na man. Scan be ko nyema number. Ana nyema dey be and half. What you say? Sa na ya na nkrofo dey to accounts mu abrochira. Na no na emine abrandi bi di nko transaction bi na scan board in next kakra. Oh, first, no, I can meet my lady. My oh, first, no, yeah. Yeah, Mister, yeah, you know, man, you know, idea.
Yeah.
Jam Pressy a bit to me, I owe money. See, to me, two corruption as in Kwa in domestic budget, you grano.
Borrowing,
yes, because Scow man, except I could do what Nipa Marcum, you been some. Nti ye no e ade be boy ye ma kwan ma sa ade no enkoso na fe I think say maybe be here
right but that's it
I've said
doc my member ho na meet you
ma me no asamintia ahwefo ene etifo meda party mpanyimfo so ase mechia the former vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia machia memenia panyi Dr. Matupoku Prempe JFK ene odeno kokwapia the incoming national regional chairman na mitie minia share do be as say nation kan mani age do be so as propaganda no I'm about regional communications officer media dey he ona say media dey definitely me and one hojbanam guso e no hojbanam guso e na appointments no as boys no munya appointment no many girls no ejuma wo ye no those is here share when ya brain when ya ko e do there then the akai girls no tete land cruiser mu no the make can say we so mobi debi enye ba me come asem and I mean can John mama say okay